Hello everyone, welcome to live stream of AVA Hospital. We have a lot of patients coming from Malaysia, Singapore these days, and they asked us to talk about patients in English. So today we would like to speak in English. So hi, Khanh. We have a patient who's 39 years old. She traveled all the way from Australia. She just arrived 2 days ago, and then she's gonna come and have this procedure with Dr. K today. So let's talk to Dr. K and see what we're gonna do for the patients, okay?
Hello everyone. So this patient is from Australia. She's Vietnamese Australian. She had a procedure done before, so this is actually a secondary liposuction that I will do for her. So she had a procedure done a year ago at some cosmetic surgery center here, also in Vietnam, and she was using what they call a Bodyjet technology. You can come closer and you can have a look at the results. You can see that it's uneven, and she still have a lot of fat deposits everywhere. One thing that they did well for her was the fat graft to the buttock. So she does have a very nice buttock after the fat graft. But the liposuction procedure itself wasn't done very properly. Number one, in the front you can see that the skin was uneven. There was a large layer of fat that still remained that I will have to take out today. Furthermore, I think at the beginning they misdiagnosed the condition. The patient actually has a pretty wide rectus diastasis up in her upper abdomen. She also had a small diastasis in the lower abdomen. This is quite unusual because usually people will have diastasis in the lower abdomen versus in the upper abdomen due to childbirth. You know, when you carry you have a pregnancy, your lower abdomen tends to be affected more. Unless you have a very big pregnancy or you have a twin or triplets, then the upper abdomen would be affected. But for her, it's very interesting. She only had one child. It was 8 years ago. The girl was very cute, but she was small. The fetus was only 2.8 on delivery, and that's very strange. She had this very wide rectus diastasis, and I used an ultrasound, and I can measure the distance between the recti was almost 2 cm, and that's the widest I've ever seen. So that was misdiagnosed, and that was missed on her first procedure. So it didn't help her at all. She said that a lot of fat was removed, but belly remained very flaccid and it's still very bulky, and that is because the abdominal wall integrity has been lost, and the visceral fat is pushing it out, and you can catch that in the history. If you ask the patient carefully, they will tell you after a meal they feel bloated and the belly just ballooned. And she told me that, and because I asked her, and then I examined her, and I thought that she has rectus diastasis, but I was surprised that it was almost 2 cm wide on the ultrasound. So yes, so I will, but she has very good skin, no loose skin, no stretch mark at all. So what I will do is that for her abdomen, I will do a mini abdominoplasty using the Hoyos retractor. I got the Hoyos retractor from Dr. Alfredo Hoyos. He's very famous Colombian plastic surgeon who invented this retractor to help me fix the rectus diastasis, the separation of the rectus in the upper abdomen, using a very small scar, using a mini abdominoplasty scar. I hope that I will, the scar below, I will keep it under 8 cm for her, and then I will use the retractor to help me reach the upper abdomen to repair her rectus diastasis.
So without the Hoyos equipment, you would have to make much bigger incision, right?
Yes.
Like a tummy tuck incision to be able to get up there.
Yeah, so the goal is to minimize as much scarring as possible. And on the back, you can also see that the work was very well done because she had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 puncture sites, liposuction sites on her back. It cannot be seen well in this photo, but earlier I was trying her. I circled them, and then we can share that subsequently to you guys. But you can see with all the scarring in the back, although it's liposuction scar, it's very small, but in an Asian patient, a very small scar can still be very obvious. So I hate scars. My job creates scars, but I hate scars, and I always try to minimize it, and I will always try to hide it. So for almost all of my lipo 360, I have at the maximum 3 scars, and then I hide them very well. And when you come here in person, I will tell you I cannot show you all my tricks in the live stream. But for any of you who's not a patient, who are working at a plastic surgery center or clinics, you have to counsel the patient properly about scar, because you cannot do a procedure and put 6-7 scars on someone's back. It's just wrong, right? And she also had some complication from her Bodyjet. She actually had a scar on the upper part of her right abdomen.
You see it right here.
Yeah, it's about 6-7 centimeter long. And she told me it was from a burn from the liposuction procedure, but it sounds a little bit off, because Bodyjet use water stream, water jets. There's no heat involved. But what I think happened is that the power jet. I mean, I talked about this in a case last week, where the Bodyjet created a lot of dermal skin hit. It hit the end of the skin a lot, and in that previous case, it caused an uneven surface. It caused the skin to change color, hyperpigmentation. It's caused scarring in the dermis. And in this case, I think it's skin necrosis. The blood supply of the skin was compromised because of the trauma from the Bodyjet. But then I think the patient was told there was a burn, and she just left it at that. But yeah, the Bodyjet is not a good technology. I use laser. It's the best, and it's the best for a good reason, because it's safe and it's also very effective. And all the best liposculpting plastic surgeons in the world. You go and see Alfredo Hoyos, you go and see Mir in Barcelona, they will use laser. Okay, so technology is important, and of course the user of the technology is also important. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for the sharing. We'll update you guys the results later. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks.